afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. It's a very warm May afternoon, and we got a really hot show today. Awesome guest. She's done a lot of stuff. We're going to talk to her in a minute. Before we get to her, I got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Joe's Diner in Taunton. We got Lynch's Auto Cycle Truck and Towing Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. We got Bigley's Automotive in Abington. We got Shoreshine Professional Detailing and Handwash in Abington, in seek of a professional detailer. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got C&J Auto Body Auto Glass Towing in Stoughton. We got Sweezy Fence Erectors in Whitman. We got Manny's Auto Repair in Taunton. We got Easton Fitness right here in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, home with a fully certified used car. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got A1's Tire and Auto Center in Brockton. We got Doggie Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got Brighton Tire Service in Brockton. We got the Gun Runner LLC in Middleborough, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights. And we got Speedy Oil Change in Abington, and I want to thank you guys very much. And now on that note, I will introduce, this is Priya Kumar. She is a model. She's a singer. She's an ambassador to a certain brand, and we're going to talk all about that. I'm going to unravel a mystery of clues that I've pieced together from Facebook. You look very interesting. You got a ton of followers, and that's why I want to join as a guest. So first of all, Priya, I want to thank you for coming in and being with me on Topic Time tonight.
Thank you so much, Harrison. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today.
It's an absolute pleasure, mine for sure. So, well, tell me about yourself. You said you were born in the United States, but what ethnicity are you originally, or your family?
Yes, so my family moved from India many years ago, like 40 years ago.
Okay.
But yes, I was born in the States, and I'm married into a Bangladeshi family.
Okay, cool.
So mixed heritage right there.
That's great. All right, well, that's wonderful. And you brought your husband and children with you?
Yes, I did. My 2 daughters and my hubby, they're watching.
They're right out there. That's great. I'm glad they're with you. I give you moral support. All right, well, tell me what life was like as a child in the United States. What did you aspire to? And we'll moving on from there. If I have any questions, I'll roll them in, and then we'll break it down further, and then we'll go to the present and then the future. So go ahead. And then we're going to look at a video of yours about halfway through the show, but we'll get to that when the time is right. So go ahead. Start with your childhood.
Of course. So I was born in sunny California.
Okay.
And I have a younger brother. So most of my education was there. I graduated with my bachelor's from the Claremont colleges.
Cool. And what did you major in?
In psychology and media studies.
Cool. Okay.
And I moved to Boston for higher studies.
All right.
And yeah, I've been here for about 12 years.
Okay. When you say you moved to Boston for higher studies, you mean to matriculate to a different school?
Yeah, for my master's, actually. I was debating between 2 schools. One was in New York, Sarah Lawrence.
Okay.
And the
a lot
other
of people
was...
that go there. It's a great school.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was going to pursue my master's in public health.
Yep.
And then I had another offer to do like my MLA, Master of Liberal Arts, from Harvard University.
Where?
Harvard.
Harvard. Hey, my father's school. Great school.
Yes, and well, no questions asked. So
obviously.
In 2007, I made a move, and yeah, I haven't really looked back.
That is awesome. Okay, and then now you have your master's, right?
I do. I completed in 2010.
Cool.
And then I started working, and then raised a family.
Okay. And when you started working, what did you do? How did your occupation relate to your majors? What was it, and what is it?
So yes, I've studied business management.
Okay.
So I started working actually in the nonprofit sector.
Okay.
And later on, I established my own business, like food store business.
What is it?
A food store business.
Food service?
Yes, food services.
Oh, cool. Got it.
And I think that's great, especially in a time like this, because everyone needs food.
Everyone has to eat, obviously.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so you have a food service?
I have food businesses, and recently I've started into rental property.
Okay, cool.
Management.
All around Greater Boston? I noticed when you came here today, you had a New York license plate on your car. I'm wondering, I mean, you're living in the Boston area, though?
Yeah, well, pretty much all over the place.
Right, I can see that. Okay, well, now let's talk about. We'll get back to the rental and the food services. But tell me about the modeling and the singing and all that. When did you start that, and how far have you gone with that?
So singing has actually been my first love since
cool.
I was 7 years old.
Okay.
I've been singing, and my parents have always encouraged me for that.
Cool.
In fact, I used to go to India almost every year as a child, every summer, you can say.
Yep.
And for 3 months, I used to learn from a teacher there.
Okay.
And even at school, I used to learn Western music, piano.
Okay, so did you go to school in India too when you went back there? Or just a visit? I mean, did you do any schooling there as well?
You can say it was like a summer school program. I used to go every summer for 3 months.
Okay.
It was in the early 90s.
Okay.
So,
You're pretty well versed all over the world now.
yeah, and I think that's wonderful because
It is.
unless you travel, you don't really learn much.
Right. Okay, that's true. All right. Well, so in terms of music, how far have you gone with that? I mean, now you have a video that we're going to be looking at. Tell me about
Yes.
that, and then we'll
Sure.
talk about the modeling too.
So, yes, I've started singing professionally just quite recently, you can say, 5
Cool.
years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
So, I have a few Bengali and Hindi songs to my credit.
Did you write them?
My husband wrote them.
Perfect.
So, he's written some Bengali songs for me, and they've been composed by some of the finest musicians in India and Bangladesh.
Cool. Okay. Wow. That's awesome. Are they in English or are they in both languages?
In both languages, in Hindi and Bengali.
Okay.
And you can see them on reverbnation.com.
Cool. Okay.
That'll be awesome.
Do you go by your regular name as a musician, Priya Kumar?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I'm also on YouTube
Great. Okay.
and Instagram.
Of course. All right. Now where did the modeling come in?
Modeling, I started actually from high school.
Okay.
Thing was, I just,
That was in the U.S., right?
in the US,
In
yeah.
California.
I did a few simple fashion shows, photo shoots.
Okay.
And when I moved to Boston from California, I got in touch with some wonderful designers, such as Luna Wakim. She has a boutique of her own.
Okay. Cool.
And there's a few Indian designers I've worked with,
Okay.
including Senorita Party Collection, Mohini, which is a treasure house of like saris, blouses, and so forth.
Sari is an Indian gown, right?
Yeah, it's like 6 beautiful yards.
Okay.
Just drape it around and it looks amazing.
Of course it does. And what you're wearing tonight looks pretty awesome too.
Oh, thank you.
The diamond-studded blouse, that's beautiful. Did you design it, by the way? I'm just wondering.
Oh, actually, I paired it together. It wasn't planned this way.
Well, I always say everything happens for a
Thank you.
reason. Just about every show I say that, but it looks great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you definitely know how to hit. You're stylish for sure.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, all right. So with the modeling, you went about. Did you do runway shows and fashion shows? Did you get on any? Did you ever get yourself in a magazine anywhere?
Well, I've done a lot of runway shows, yes.
Okay.
I've done Boston Fashion Week several
Okay.
times,
Yep.
New York Fashion Week, and later on with my friend Luna Wakim, we did a show in London.
Cool.
It was called the House of Icons.
Okay. Wow.
Basically showcased part of London Fashion Week.
Wow. London, huh? Great.
And I've also been to France.
I was going to ask you about Paris and Milan too. How about there?
Milan, yes, actually I've been to Italy. I did a collaboration there.
Wow. You see, you're everywhere. You're a globe spinner, is what you are.
Well, I've certainly enjoyed traveling a lot. Before the pandemic, we used to go almost
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, right. And now that we're getting through it, you're going to be going back to all that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Oh, you will. I mean, that's wonderful. Okay. Have you ever done any acting at all?
Acting, yes, for my music videos,
Okay.
I've done acting with my own songs. As you'll see in the video that I sent to Kim,
Oh, that'll be great.
I have like almost 40 Hindi and Bengali songs that I've done.
Wow.
And I've acted and I've sung in some of them.
That's awesome.
Like lip singing, you can
Of course,
say.
of course. Okay. All right. Well, during the week, currently, are you involved in any modeling projects or any music today? I mean, as of this, spring of 2021.
Yeah, actually, I do have a plan to do a show in Washington, D.C. in November.
Okay.
Once things are better
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Settled.
That'll be great. Maybe you'll get to entertain the president.
That would be nice.
Yeah, you never know. Washington, D.C.
So yeah, it's actually for a convention that happens every year.
Okay.
Last year they had to skip due to the pandemic.
Obviously, right.
But since then I've done a lot of online shows.
Yep.
I've worked with singers from London, from Dubai,
Okay.
India, Bangladesh.
So now you're multilingual, right?
Yeah, I am.
You speak now. What are they? Bangladesh and India. I mean, there are several dialects in India and Bangladesh, and I don't know what they're called, but there's a bunch of them. Do you speak any other languages besides India and Bangladesh in English?
Yes, I speak a little bit of French, which
Okay.
I took in high school,
Cool.
and conversational Spanish also, you can say.
Wow. Great. Okay, so you got quite a resume there.
Thank you.
Oh, no question about it. All right. So what about any magazine shoots as of yet? I mean, you probably will if you haven't already. I'm expecting you head in that direction. You're heading in that direction.
Yes, I've done one shoot with a New York-based magazine.
Okay.
It's called Portfolio.
Yep.
So basically what I did was I modeled some Indian attire, the sari that I had told you about.
Okay, right.
And the photographer was Steve Idriff.
Okay.
And he got me published in Portfolio magazine, which was a pleasure.
Of course.
And I've also been featured in a few newspapers, Indian newspapers for bridal work.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So you do a lot of bridal shows?
I do. I've been doing bridal shows since 2007, actually.
So 14 years.
Yeah, and that's like a very elaborate look.
Of course it is.
A lot of jewelry, fancy headpieces, and of course the gown is just
Okay.
almost out of the world.
Okay, great. And I assume that now do you work weddings too?
Weddings, I've sung in weddings and I've danced in weddings. My cousins, family, friends.
Okay.
Not my own, of course.
Of course, your own, right. I'm just saying, I'm just wondering, like, all right, so tell me about the other things you do. You have a food service and your rental properties, correct? Rental?
Yeah, that's my profession.
Okay,
And by passion, I'm a singer, I've done modeling,
okay,
I've done some brand endorsements, you can say.
okay,
So I've modeled for Boomy Coffee. This is a organic coffee brand.
beautiful.
And I've also done modeling for a boutique called Mohini and Senorita.
Okay,
So what they did was they had an online contest.
wow.
So I had to do like a fashion walk in a sari, talk about myself,
Well, nothing wrong with that.
my goals, and I was shortlisted, and from there I've started modeling.
Wow, and how
For
long ago was this? 2000?
This was last year.
Just last year, okay. Well, guess what? We're about halfway through the show. Now we're going to take a look at that, what you've all been waiting for, that music video, slash model video for
Yeah.
Priya. So check it out. We'll be right back.
ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আজ যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আজ যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব সে ফুলেরই মাঝে আছো তুমি লুকিয়ে মনে মাধুরী মাখিয়ে সে ফুলেরই মাঝে আছো তুমি লুকিয়ে মনে মাধুরী মাখিয়ে ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আজ যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব নদী চলে কল কল পাখির কলরব মেঠো পথে হেঁটে যাই চলে আমি ভাবি দূর থেকে এই তো সেদিন হেঁটেছি একসাথে দুজনে এই সমান্তরালে আজ তুমি কত দূরে রয়েছি শুধু আমি এখানে ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আজ যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব তোমার আমার পথটা যেদিকে যায় তা তো দুজনার চেনা তবুও হঠাৎ থমকে দাঁড়ায় ভাবি তো এই পথ অচেনা স্মৃতির স্বপ্ন ভেঙে যায় একা ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আয় যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব ফুল দেব না বন্ধু তোমায় মালা বনে দেব আয় যে বসন্ত বনে সব ফুল নেব সে ফুলেরই মাঝে আছো তুমি লুকিয়ে মনের মাধুরী মাখিয়ে সে ফুলেরই মাঝে আছো তুমি লুকিয়ে মনের মাধুরী মাখিয়ে লা 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 লা
Oh, that was great. Tell me about it.
Thank you. Well, the song was written by my husband, Dr. Asif,
Okay,
and I think it's a very soul-stirring, beautiful Bengali song.
okay,
It's one of those romantic songs that reminds you about spring, flowers,
okay.
and the music was composed by Shajib Dash. He's
Who's
from
that?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, okay.
He's a very famous musician there. He's
Okay.
worked with all of the legendary Indian and Bangladeshi singers.
Okay,
So it was truly an honor working with him. And another friend of mine, his name is Ashik, he introduced me to both of them. So truly I want to give a shout out to him as well.
that's perfect. Okay, that's awesome. All right. When did you shoot this and where?
Well, I shot this during the lockdown actually.
Oh, well, good for you.
I did have a lot of time. And since we were all social distancing,
Of course.
what we did is we went to various parks
Yep.
and isolated areas, and my husband held the camera, and then later on we both edited as a team.
You and your husband?
Yeah, we used the Viva video app and we did some editing. We added some photos, some special effects, and
Looks great.
there you go.
And now that editing is a whole other animal. When did you learn to do that? Did you learn that in school or did you teach yourself?
Well, I've been a media studies major, as I told you.
Okay,
for,
right.
Yeah, my undergrad.
Yep,
So I learned a little bit about Final Cut Pro there.
yep.
And when I first moved to Boston, I joined Malden Access Television.
Okay, wow.
So we learned a little bit like video training there.
Yep, all right.
And later on, we transitioned to Melrose.
To which?
Melrose Television.
Oh, okay. The only Melrose I know is Melrose Place, which was a TV show many years ago. Melrose
Oh, okay.
Place. It was a nighttime soap opera.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also a town west of or north of Boston.
It is. It's right next to Malden.
Oh, right, exactly.
So when we moved closer to that area, we started working with Melrose Access Television.
Oh, you're talking about this town. You're talking about Melrose, the town. So I nailed it.
Yes.
Oh, good. How about that? Okay, so you're working up there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. So well, hopefully we can do for you here what they did for you there too.
Of course,
Here in
I'm-
East. All right. Well, so tell me about now. How does you and your husband? He's a singer-songwriter. Does he sing too, or just write songs and do recordings?
Well, by profession, he's a neuroscientist.
Okay.
He's affiliated with Northeastern University.
Cool.
He was working under a physics professor there for several years.
Okay.
And yeah, songwriting came just as a passion, you can say, for him.
Okay. That's great.
Because
Well,
he's
what
very
he does
well
is pretty
versed.
important too. Neuroscientist.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
So we've got that work and life balance right there.
Absolutely. Okay.
Because-
How'd you guys meet? Just and where did you meet? In the United States or?
During school, actually,
Okay.
when I moved to Harvard,
Okay.
I was a first-year graduate student
Yep.
at the grad school, and he was a postdoctorate fellow.
Okay.
He was doing mainly science, like he was at the Skeffen's Eye Research Institute.
Okay.
But occasionally I used to see him in the Harvard lab
Oh.
doing his work, and I
Right.
used to be doing my work.
Okay. Cool.
So just through different meetings and through like cultural events, we
Right.
kind of bonded.
Okay. All right. Tell me about the food service you do. What's that?
So I used to own a Subway,
You,
and
you own a Subway, the sub shop?
yeah, sandwiches and stuff.
Okay.
So that was in Wakefield.
Yep.
And now I'm introducing myself into 7-Elevens, which is a 24-hour convenience store business.
Oh, yeah. 7-Eleven. I mean, that I do know of. That's as American as apple pie.
Yes.
It's been around forever.
So yeah, I mean, just learning about the 7-Elevens, I just realized it's more than just drinks and late night ice cream runs.
Right.
Because I did a long intensive training for that course.
Okay.
And now I'm operating 2 stores.
Okay, in the Boston area. 2 stores at once?
2 stores, yes.
Okay, but but in order to do that, you need people under you.
Yes, we have many employees.
Okay, okay, that's awesome.
It's going well.
So what's your food service? All Subway? I'm wondering though, do you guys do any cooking at all? Any Indian cooking for people? Any of that stuff? So I mean, I love Indian food because I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm vegetarian for the most part, but my husband does enjoy chicken and eggs.
Okay, well he's not a vegetarian then.
No, then he's not. But yeah, I think it's great. We like to cook, but not professionally.
Okay, all right.
Whenever we have friends over, we like to cook for them.
Yeah.
And they like to cook for us.
There you go. That's awesome. I know. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking you look like you could be a good chef if you wanted to be, but obviously it's just something you do for fun, not professionally.
Oh yeah, just for my kids.
Right.
And
Oh yeah, and they look very healthy and well nourished, obviously, and that
Thank you.
shows you're doing a good job with that. Are you no? Okay. Well, I take it. Are you a vegetarian yourself? You think? Would you say?
I eat eggs, so I don't know how
Well, it
vegetarian
depends.
I am.
You know what? If you're not a vegetarian for eating eggs. I mean, it depends.
I'm not a vegan,
I understand.
but I like to stick to my vegetables.
I understand. Okay, it sounds to me like you got it down. You got the knack for it. That's wonderful. Okay, so
What about yourself? You're a vegan or
yeah, I'm a
vegetarian?
vegan. I am now. I've been a vegetarian for almost 40 years since July 30th, 1982. That's the day I became a vegetarian.
Wow.
I've been a vegan since 2011, so that's 10 years. Vegetarian 39 years.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel pretty good. I'm 61 and a half, and I've never felt better.
That's amazing. You can definitely deduct 10 years. I wouldn't have guessed you're 61.
Well, 10 years, so that would still make me 51 though. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. The way I look at it, it's not so much how you look. It's not so much like how you look in age. It's how you feel. It's if you feel like you could live another 20 years, which I do. I feel like I could live another 40 years, which is important. If I only have to go
Wonderful.
38 and a half more years to be 100 now, because I'll be turning 62 in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, I see what I do like is that I see a lot of people that are younger than me that look a lot older. People I see every day.
Oh yes, that happens. But age is just a number.
It absolutely is.
I mean, you're only as old as you feel.
Right.
And then if you have family support, then it's never too late. You can always do different things.
Well, I also have I'm inspired by my own parents who are in their 80s and are still pretty healthy, both of them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. I know. My father just turned 86 a few weeks ago. My mother's 84 and a half. She'll be 85 in this fall.
That's
and they're
great.
both very active and doing stuff every day. And at my age, I'm very lucky to still have them, and that I'm able to do this show and impress them that I've done something impressive after all the years of failure that I've lived through. But that's a show for another day.
Oh, well, we're all very impressed with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And I think that's very positive, having the parents' support with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And,
Really goes a long way.
and my sister-in-law who lives here in town, and she had a show here too for a while, and she was also a guest on my show twice, and I was a guest on her show.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Now that having been said, now are you doing any acting currently?
Well, actually, these days I've been focused on to pageantry.
Okay.
What happened was 2 years ago, I had the pleasure to participate in a state pageant.
Okay. Mass, right?
Well, New England area,
New England,
tri-state pageant.
Okay. Okay. Great.
So this was an Indian pageant called Miss Bharat New England.
Okay.
And it was organized by a company called My Dream Entertainment.
Okay.
So there I got the runner-up crown.
That's beautiful.
And I ended up singing for them.
Okay.
I also did a question-answer session, some modeling.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I went to the state pageant, nationals you can say, Miss Bharat USA.
Okay. Where was that held?
That was also 2 years ago in December in New Jersey.
New Jersey. I was just about to say about New Jersey because I know a couple of years ago I went to a pageant in Foxborough and it included a lot of people from the Indian community. And I don't know if you know Meta Rastogi. She's Mrs. India, Rhode Island, and I interviewed her 2 years ago in my other location in Carver.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
and she went to a pageant in New Jersey too. You guys were probably at the same pageant at some point, or maybe I don't know if it was the same year.
Oh, yes. Actually, I did this in 2019.
Right.
And then when lockdown happened, I did a couple of virtual pageants.
Right. But it didn't stop you. That's great.
It didn't. So currently, I'm the title holder of Miss International World, United States.
That's beautiful.
So I'm really proud to be representing the country, and I hope I can continue into the live pageant, which will be held in August.
Okay, where?
It's going to be on the Bahamas cruise ship,
Oh, boy.
so going through Florida.
Wish I had time for it. I'd
Yeah.
go too. Well, but I gotta be I'll be here doing the show, and that's fine, but that's great. I'll be there in spirit.
Thank you so much. Need all the best wishes for that, actually.
Oh,
Some
thanks.
well wishes
For you
like
too. Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show. We made it go
Okay.
by. So like I told you at the beginning, what I'd like you to do is to look at the camera and now you can look at the camera and give shouts out to people that are gonna see it, because a lot of them are. Now you can start with your husband and kids. They're out there somewhere.
Yes.
But then we condense them and then we wrap the show up.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Well, so first of all, I want to thank you, Harrison. Thank
Okay.
you so much for inviting me on the show.
You got it.
And
Thank you.
I want to thank Kim Pincus. She's
Hey.
done a wonderful job behind the scenes. Thank you
does.
so much, Kim.
Couldn't do it without her.
I'd like to thank my husband, Dr. Asif Islam, my 2 children, Tanha and Mehek. Tani and Mahi, you always inspire me to achieve. Whenever I think I want to give up, I just remember who's looking, so I don't give up. I want to thank my pageant director, Angela Pisilico. I want to thank Rashmi and Janak Bedi of My Dream Entertainment for encouraging me to take the first step, because when I took the first step, I wouldn't have made it to the international pageant today, so thank you for that. I'd like to thank my dance teacher, Nina Gulati-ji. She lives in Brookline. She's taught me dance for about 8 years, and I think that gave me the confidence, the ability to achieve, and to inspire others as well. I want to thank my entire pageant family. Every time I look at your posts on Instagram, every time I see that you're doing a collaboration or just posting something, I feel inspired to do the same. I think positivity is contagious. Whenever you pass it on, it just grows and grows, and I love the energy you all give me. Thank you for that. I'd like to thank my music teacher, Anup Borua. Thank you so much for giving me the gift of music. That's a big blessing. And no matter what I do, whether it's pageantry, whether it's owning a business, taking care of kids, music's always going to be my first love. I'd like to give a shout out to all of my friends watching from New England area. I can't name all of you, but my heartfelt thanks goes out to you for bringing out the best in me, making me the person I am today. Thank you so much.
Well, great job. And all right, now before we wrap the show up officially, if you had a good time with me, what I'd like you to do is to tell people about Topic Time. I get a lot of guests through word of mouth now.
Of course.
Get a lot of them from Facebook, but I'm getting more and more from word of mouth. And you have my number, have them text me. And if they want to do the show, we'll get them in here or one of my other locations.
Of course.
All right? And on that having been said, are you ready to wrap the show up the way we began it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. There we go. Your daughter's loving this.
I guess she is.